Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here. It's Saturday 29th of November 2025, so day after the last video was published back in the garage with Rob's Rocket 3, and it's all looking quite good. The oil's back in the tank at the top from the bowl, and no oil forming into droplets or drips on the sump plate. So that's positive news. Other news is that we've received the proper replacements for these, the rocker cover sleeve nuts that go in the centre. Now then, what have I done with them? They're here. I didn't notice actually, look at that. There's a message on the bag, it's received this morning. Hi Angus, like your power set videos, best wishes. Can't. Anyway, good man. I'll have to find out where I got these from. From a supplier on eBay that I use anyway. Here we go, right. There's your comparison. So the length is different and the head is different. Other than that, those were absolutely perfect. What a joke. Right, so that's good. Just waiting for the copper washers for those now, but they're on the way. But back to the main purpose of today. I'm going to have a call with Rob shortly. He's aware, obviously, from the videos of the findings on the barrels and pistons. But we want to check before we start investing any more in this bike if we need guides as well. And there's actually a very helpful comment. Two comments. Firstly, that we've observed that there's an awful lot of oil on the top of this piston. Somebody mentioned whether all this oil around here could be just oil that was put around this copper gasket. Well, I don't think so. There's far too much of it. There's no end of it. So anyway, we've got oil on the left-hand piston here, but our observation as well is that this tarry gooey stuff is on the right-hand side. So we've had a comment stating that this might be indicating valve guide wear, whereas over here this might be indicating oil blowing by the rings in the bore, or some sort of hydraulicking, which is a valid point. So if that's the case, we're expecting maybe the guides to certainly be worn on the right hand cylinder, but I'm pretty sure we're going to end up replacing these. So I've got the valve spring compressor out. It's a bit of a tedious job this, but let's get on with it, and we'll remove these valves and lay them out in the right order once we've disassembled it. Right, I've just done the first one, which is the right hand exhaust. First finding, an oil seal on top of the valve guide. That's not original, so that immediately indicates workaround. So let me try and demonstrate this. There's quite a lot of play in that. see if we can right. That's not very clever. No, I don't know whether you can see this. I don't think this has been quite seating properly, or the seat needs cutting. The valve looks okay, it's not pitted, but there are areas of the seat where it's black and areas where it's not, which indicates to me that it's not seating evenly. So I'll put that over there. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it's all looking a bit black and sooted around the edge, is it? Yeah, it's like tarry deposit round the edge. Smacking the shortcuts again, really. Okay, let's crack on and get the rest of them out. I hope you were paying attention. That wasn't right-hand exhaust, that was left-hand exhaust. Yeah. Come on, wake up. Right, that's all the valves out. So, as I was taking out more issues, no, this isn't going to focus. Are you, mate? But you can see that collet's chipped, and there's another one as well that's chipped. I mentioned when we took the rocker boxes off that we thought the valve stems weren't in very good nick. Sorry about that. There we go. Can you see that? That's beginning to break up, which isn't very good news. Now what's that inlet center? And then looking at the seats, inlets don't look too bad. Exhausts, look at that. There's no way that was seating properly. That was leaking. I mean, why is that colour? It's almost like dots of rust. That's the first one that we took out, and you can see that those sort of deposits around the edge. That's oil, I think, coming through, burning. But that, no, that definitely wasn't seating. I suppose a compression test would have confirmed that. We might end up having to cut these seats. That looks pocketed as well, that. Oh, good at all. Anyway, I've got seat cutter, that's okay, which we can, which we ought to do really, just out of completeness once we've put valve guides in. So we need valve guides. We need a set of collets. The springs don't look too bad, but I will measure the length on those and report back later. I mean, again, it just smacks of cutting corners, so, you know, I'm not going to replace the valve guides. I'll just put some oil seals on from another bike, another model. I know all Norton Commandos had them, but I didn't think the Norton Commando had, they've got proper little springs on them as well. So they're good ones, but not original. So there you go. Okay, right, I'm going to leave that there now because I need to speak to Rob and get his okay on how much he wants to invest, and then we'll order, if he wants it, the pistons plus 20s, and then we'll take the barrels off. There's a couple of these base nuts that I'm struggling with because there's so little room around the back of them, so I've got some open-ended flare nut ring spanners, ring spanner on order, because I did have a sort of a homemade one. Here it is, for something else, but it's gone. It's too far gone, and I can't put enough torque on it to get those nuts undone without it slipping. So we'll get those undone, ready to go, and I'll speak to Rob now. Okay, so I'll leave it there, everybody, with a view of an area to be reconditioned. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for any comments and subscriptions, and see you all again soon. Cheers.